have here a 2012 Ram 3500 that we will be taking out the transmission. I have to take apart the transmission and I have to do the pilot bearing. So follow along. It's four-wheel drive and it is a manual. If you have an automatic, it's going to be slightly different. And if you have a two-wheel drive, it's also going to be slightly different. So follow along. Okay, so we're under the truck. The first step is going to be taking out the drive shaft. So you have the carrier bearing, you have the two bolts here, and at the differential, the 4 bolts around. That will drop the whole thing, and then this comes sliding out from the transfer case. So we'll do that step first. So the drive shaft is out over there. Next step is the transfer case. So what I'm gonna do, so I have the skid plate to take off, which are bolts here. It's bolted under here, bolted up there, focus. And then I have to take off the drive shaft and then unbolt it, and there's a couple of things up there. So first we'll get this off. So the next step is to take off the transfer case. So we got some bolts here. We have the shift lever to pop off. You just take a screw stick. You got the bleeder tube and you got the electronics. So those are the things that you have to take off. There are 6 bolts, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. But before, I'll end up just loosening those before I put the transmission jack under there. But you definitely want to get those 3 things first. All right, so we got the transfer case out, and the next step is to drain the oil. I am reusing this oil because it's relatively new. Now I need the H14. Close. Woo-wee. So we got the oil drained. The next thing, we gotta take out the transmission. So we have the hydraulics to take out, obviously the bolts all around, but before we do that, I have the transmission mount under here, and then I take the whole thing down, but you want to get the jack under there too. So over here, so we got the hydraulics, we got bolts over here, and that's it on this side. And then when we go on this side, we got more bolts, and then, can you see it up there? Can't really see. Let me see. Take this off as just a mounting plate, and then we have inside the cab. So inside the cab, I already did. I have all these pieces, but really what I need to do is take off the shift tower. I do take off the the shifter and the shift tower. That will come out so that when the transmission comes down, it's not in the way. But this to get off was just a couple of bolts to take off the knobs, and then there were a couple 10mm bolts around, and then the mounting on this was like 5 or 6 10mm. So the T12. Yes! That's how you do it.